How do I start prepping? Hey everybody, it's Michael with Asymmetrical Preparedness. It's a question a lot of people ask. There are people coming around. There are people starting to ask this question. So if you're one of those people, I will attempt to give my answer. First off, don't let yourself get overwhelmed. There is a lot to preparedness. So many different aspects that you can get overwhelmed very quickly. I will help you start off, give you some ideas of how to start. Just start small, start slow, and just do a little bit at a time. So I'll give you my recommendations. But first off, let's talk about why do we prepare? A little bit. We prepare because there are uncertain times. We see things like food shortages. We see things, the events of the last 2 years. We see, chaos in the streets in some situations, cities burning. We have midterm election cycle coming up, so more potential for violence, more potential for disruption, and those kind of things. We also see the events of the world and the direction that's being pushed. We see inflation, things cost more. There's a lot of reasons why we prepare. I always talk about SHTF is, a lot of people think of the big event, total financial collapse, EMP, stuff like that. Well, SHTF can be personal. You can lose your job. A loved one could be in the hospital, or you could lose a loved one. Yeah, I've seen that recently. Still dealing with that. There's a lot of reasons why. Then you look at preparedness. What do I need to be prepared? Say you don't know anything about wilderness survival, you don't know anything about bushcraft, you don't know anything about anything survival and preparedness related. Say you live in a city, in an apartment. You see people talk about growing their own food and you're like, well, I can't do that. Well, I'm telling you, you can do that. There is a way. There are channels here on YouTube that show you how to grow food in an apartment. I'm not one of them. I can't tell you how to do it because I don't live in an apartment. I've never tried it. But there's a lot of different methods. You also hear the big push about food, stockpiling food. But a lot of people also forget about water. So what I recommend doing is just starting small. Don't let yourself get overwhelmed with all the, how to start a fire, how to build a bushcraft shelter out in the woods, how to do wilderness survival, how to hunt, fish, trap, snare, forage, identify wild edibles, wild medicinals, all that stuff. There's so much to it. There is more to it than any one person can learn in a lifetime. That's why tribe is one of the most important things. And what I would recommend you start off with, try to find a group, a prepper group. A group of like-minded individuals that are into preparedness. Maybe it's a homesteading group. Even if you don't know anything about homesteading, you can learn a lot from it. Group is vital. Having the backup, having the different skill sets, and just the camaraderie of being able to talk to people that get it, that can help motivate you, and you them. But what do? How do you get started? Say you want to go to the store and get started preparing today, tomorrow, whatever it may be. Well, it's pretty easy actually to get started because there's so much you can do. There's so many different things you can get. You can go to the camping section and get camping stuff if you feel like that's what you need. Are you in a situation where you're going to be able to stay put, aka bug in, or are you going to have to get out and bug out? Bugging out is not optimal. That is not the best situation. But if you're in a high population dense area like a city, say living in an apartment, you're probably going to need to get out. Because once the food runs out in a city, oh my gosh, I would hate to be there. So think about bug out plans. Bring up Google Earth, Google Maps. Start looking at areas like that, where rural areas, low population dense areas, the woods, the forest, national parks, state forests, state parks. Start doing something along those lines. Have a general idea where you might go and a plan of how to get there. But back to the store. Say you're going to the store. Some basic things are, do you have a knife? You're like, oh yeah, I think I have an old pocket knife sitting in a drawer. That's fine. But having a good quality fixed blade knife. Does it have to be a $150 knife? No, it doesn't. It can be a $30 to $50 knife. Gerber Prodigy is a good fixed blade knife. Decent. It will do most of what you need it to do. They even carry those at Walmart. Food. Pick up a couple extra canned goods. Whatever you normally eat, whatever you normally buy, then just pick up a couple extras. Some pasta, some boxes of mac and cheese, some rice, some beans. You know what you eat. I don't know what you eat. But get versions of what you eat that have a little bit longer shelf life than stuff that you put in the fridge or maybe the freezer. Freezer's good, but you may not always have it because you may not always have power. So shelf-stable items. Also things like ration bars. You can get granola bars, power bars, protein bars, stuff like that with the understanding of the shelf life. Peanut butter is a really good one to get also. Canned meats, very good. One thing about canned goods, if you're a beginning prepper, is that there's no preparation needed. You open the can and you eat it. That's very good. Keep it simple. You don't want to overwhelm yourself. Do you even know how to cook? Do you know how to bake bread from scratch? Well, if you don't, then don't worry about buying flour necessarily. Don't worry about buying the things that you don't have the capability of using anyway. A lot of people talk about, hard red wheat. Yeah, stockpile it, great. Well, do you have a way to grind it to make flour? You don't have to necessarily. You can sprout it. Sprouting wheat and or anything increases the nutritional value of that exponentially. So you can get good nutritional value just from sprouting the wheat. And it's pretty simple. I'm not going to talk about that here. There's videos on here on YouTube to look up. People will teach you things like that. But yeah, pick up a couple extra canned goods, couple extra, some of those boxed meals maybe that are simple to cook. Maybe go to this, like the freeze-dried food section, August Farms if you're at Walmart, or there's a lot of different ones. Peruse the camping section. See what else you might need. Do you have some 550 cord? That's that paracord. It's just cord, line, string, rope. It's not really a rope, it's not really a string. It's kind of in between. Pick up a tarp, maybe, just so you have some shelter. Maybe pick up some of those water jugs in the camping section, the blue ones. Fill those up when you get home. But maybe buy a case of waters or two. It's just getting started, slowly but surely. Keep your preps in a separate area than your food, but rotate through it when it starts getting longer term. Keep a notebook. Start off at the very beginning. Write this stuff down. Keep it organized. Canned goods. Have a canned goods section. Have like beans. How many cans of beans do you have? How many cans of green beans do you have? How many cans of peaches do you have? Etc. Keep track of it. Very important. You can look at this list and or where you have it stockpiled to receive motivation, to help motivate yourself. Hey, I'm starting to get some stuff. This is cool. I have a 25-pound bag of beans and a 25-pound bag of rice. That's a pretty darn good start. That's 50 pounds of food. And you know that it expands when it cooks, so that's quite a decent amount of food to start off with. Now that's not the end though. Start looking at books, hard copies, not digital copies, of books. Start looking in the medical section. Do you have rolled gauze? Do you just have some Band-Aids at home? Do you have 91% alcohol? Do you have all these different things? Think about or watch some videos on wound care, on trauma care. Do you have a tourniquet? These are all things to think about. And simple things like your home. Do you have your fire extinguishers in working order? Are your locks in working order? Is your vehicle in working order? Just starting off with simple basics. I know it's not exciting. A lot of people like going the tactical route. And having a way to defend yourself and what you have in your family is very important. So think about a defensive tool. If you don't have a defensive tool, the single hand little versions of them, you know, that you can put in a holster and carry around with you, that's probably a good place to start. But the longer version of them is also good, because that gives you extended capability. That gives you the ability to hunt. Can you hunt with a smaller version? Yeah, you can, but you got to be realistic also. Are you going to be hunting? That's not really long-term sustainable. Look at the Great Depression. The deer herd in the United States was almost annihilated. Yes, that's my fearless guard dog. Maybe think about something like that. Maybe a guard dog to help protect you. You need some way to protect yourself, and you need the seeds that go along with it, and you need the training. Whatever you do, start getting training. Okay, shush. Shush.
Be quiet, Mabel.
You need training, and you start learning skill sets. But to help motivate you, to help get you started, just go to the store, buy some extra food. Grab a case of waters or one of those water jugs like I talk about. Fill it up. Keep your lists, and then continue watching my videos and other Prepper channel videos. There's a lot of good knowledge out there, a lot of great knowledge, a lot of great channels. The community is awesome. Another thing that will help you be a really awesome prepper is if you subscribe to my channel and hit that thumbs up button and comment. Let me know if you are just starting. Let me know how you started. Let me know when you started and why you started. This is all good information, because other people can read the comments also and be like, oh, I get that. Oh, hey, that's a good idea. Give beginning preppers ideas in the comments section. We have a really good community here. We can really help each other out. I can't sit here and talk about every single thing there is to preparedness, but you can help each other out in the comments section. That's really appreciated, and it helps the video get more visibility so we can get more new people into preparedness. This is very important. It's a very important time to get into preparedness. A lot of people say it's too late for those people. No, it's never too late. Get started now. Start small, prep a little every day, and prep out of peace of mind, not out of fear. Have a wonderful day, and blessings to you and yours.